Hi guys, I'm Tommie from the Six Education, Head of Compliance. Today I have one of my colleagues, Stephne, with me. We're going to talk about the 10 most often questions we get from our schools, which I do think is important, and we hope that this will help you. Stephne, welcome.
Hi, Tommy. Well, let me start. The first question is, the schools wants to know, will SASAM's curriculum be on the system?
Look, I think it's a very important question. I believe that it's part of the department's standard, so to speak, and it's very important for us to start following those standards as well. We are very, very busy implementing it, working on it, in terms of a project, quite a huge one. So I can excitedly say, yes, it's on the way, and that's what we will be doing.
Great. What about Matric's SBA year marks on SASAM's?
Yeah, it's something that recently happened, and we've never known because we don't have any specifications. So, guys, we sort this out on the fly. It's basically already in testing phase in the development department, and we're excited that that will go out very soon. It's actually a query that came from subject advisors from the department, and we hope to have that live quite soon.
Well, there's a lot of questions regarding the provincial units numbers for learners.
So, yeah, I think it's a good question. I must tell you, remember our third-party schools, we're used to submitting that live and getting those numbers back very quickly, effectively overnight. I think that schools are frustrated, this takes very long, and they're not getting their feedback files back. The reality is, guys, it's unfortunately, in terms of the province, in the hands of the department, and all we can do is to handle that as best we can. The exciting news for you guys is that we have basically opened the routes number for the learner on the system. It can now be edited. Just have some caution when you do so, but at least you can phone the previous school and capture this number.
Yes. Go well, as you saw, well, as everybody saw that the 17.2 version of SASAM's went live. So it took a while.
Yeah, some reality there. Please understand, guys, that we do not receive any specifications from a technical point of view. We only receive user specifications. We never realized these table changes behind the scenes. We had to figure it out and correct it, and that's unfortunately why it took a while. The important thing is that the Plus and Smart systems are ready for export. That's already live, and that pencil box is in process for this week.
Okay, well, there's a lot of schools that ask questions regarding the static information. What about the static information in SISAMS? Will it become less?
I think that part of our drive and our focus is to make things as simple as possible. We have a number of aspects like the SGB, the Safe School Committee, the extramurals, and of course, the sport for the schools, the value-adding programs. All of those things are being in testing phase now, and we're going to make it live very soon, so that it's really easier for schools. Yes, it will.
Well, first of all, there is a submission process. Now, a lot of clients, they feel that the process it became very difficult and it's not as easy as it looks.
I must tell you, we are all dependent on the SSM's process, the department's process. We exactly do what they do purely because that's the only way we will validate properly and make sure we comply. The exciting news is have a look on the Plus system under My Home Tasks and look at the proactive task you'll find there. We're also planning to introduce some help for the schools there and then in a real simple, more approachable, more proactive way. Yes.
Well, there's a lot of our clients that's going to go into a process for the admin year end. And at the moment, there's a lot of things that they need to do regarding the admin year end.
I think the question relates also to schools that feel they have to recapture all kinds of things in the new year. Guys, we took a view, we improved this drastically. So a number of aspects here will be automatically transferred to the new year. For example, your decision methods, your formulas, and your subject choices, just to name a few. But we are focusing on making this much better, much easier for the 10th day submission this year. Yes.
I think we do help our private schools and public schools. But what about the LSEM schools and the LSEM classes, the special schools?
I think the important thing here is to realize that those schools really don't get much assistance, and that it's one of our focus areas. They only represent 0.9% of all schools in the country, and to me it's very important to play an active role there. So the important thing maybe to realize is that these guys have quite a number of obstacles, both in SASAMS and Valstructor, purely because the process is mainstream, and we're doing our best to make that as easy as possible for them. I must tell you that at the end of the day, already improved functions where we include the pre-R learners and make sure that the totals for these schools are correct. It's already helping. And let me just tell you, a few other things are also on the way, and we will make sure this works for the special schools.
But there's a lot of immigrants in our, in our schools today. So how important is the study permits?
I think we must understand that the legislation relates to immigration and relates to penalties that can be given to schools in terms of not adhering to paperwork and lawful stuff, especially. So I think it's very important that we manage risk for our schools. It's part of our role, part of the drive. Okay, and please understand, guys, the parents must still get the study permits for these learners. It doesn't matter if they have permanent residency or temporary residency. It's very clear. We got this information from an outside company or consulting company that assisted us purely to help with all these risks. I think it's also important to look at the department's admission policy for learners and to go from there. At the end of the day, immigrant learners must have valid study permits. Okay, something just for your info. We're also working on educator work permits. It's being worked on as we speak, effectively in process, so that will roll out hopefully very soon as well.
Well, do you have any suggestions for our independent schools regarding only having 3 terms?
So that's quite a technical one because the department's view is that public schools have 4 terms, and that's how it's addressed in terms of these difficulties for the instructor as well as for SAMS. I can tell you that we're really revisiting this process, reviewing the information. It's possible already for us to accommodate this on the plus system individually, but all I can say is that, and that makes sense, is to say that we will review and improve the logic and make it work. We hope that some of the schools that have these difficulties work with us to get that achieved.
Okay, well, this was our top 10 questions that our schools normally ask. We really hope that we can help you, and thank you for being part of our team, and thank you, Tommie.
Okay, guys, thank you. Enjoy. Bye-bye.